I stepped into that conference room. Something was off. The usual chatter among my colleagues had shifted into hushed whispers, stolen glances darting toward me. My gut twisted as I followed their eyes to the large screen at the front of the room. And there it was, my project, the culmination of months of backbreaking work, displayed for all to see. But beneath the title, instead of my name, was Olivia's. My sister. My vision darkened at the edges as the applause erupted. Executives were nodding in approval, investors whispering among themselves with excitement. And at the center of it all, Olivia stood, soaking in the admiration with a pleased little smirk, as if this moment truly belonged to her. A lump lodged itself in my throat, but I swallowed it down. Not here. Not now. Olivia thought she had won. She thought she had outplayed me. But what she didn't know was that I had built something into the project, something only I could control. A failsafe. She had no idea what was coming. I slid into a seat at the far end of the room, my face a carefully constructed mask of indifference. Brilliant work, Olivia. Mr. Calloway, the CEO, beamed at my sister. This will revolutionize the industry. Olivia feigned humility, placing a hand over her heart. I just wanted to contribute something meaningful to the company. The sheer audacity of her words almost made me laugh. Meaningful? She hadn't contributed a damn thing. I could feel Olivia's gaze on me, waiting, watching for my reaction. I didn't give her the satisfaction. Instead, I allowed a small, knowing smile to tug at my lips. Let her have this moment. It wouldn't last. The moment Olivia stole my work, she also unknowingly inherited a time bomb. The software required an encrypted activation key, one that only I possessed. Without it, her presentation was nothing more than smoke and mirrors. She could parade it around all she wanted, but in 3 months, when it came time to deliver results, she'd have nothing. And she wouldn't realize it until it was far too late. So, I waited. At first, Olivia played her role to perfection. She reassured the board, promised milestones, and basked in the praise. But the closer the deadline loomed, the deeper the cracks began to show. I caught her pacing the halls one afternoon, phone pressed to her ear. "What do you mean it won't execute?" she hissed. "That's impossible. The system is supposed to be functional." I leaned casually against the doorway, watching. And now, the fun begins. She turned sharply at the sound of my voice. Trouble in paradise. The color drained from her face. "Stay out of this." I chuckled, pushing off the wall. I would. But unfortunately for you, Olivia, you stole something you don't even understand. And just like that, the first seeds of panic took root in her eyes. 3 months. That's all it took. Investors were growing impatient. Executives were demanding results. And Olivia? She was running out of lies. Then it finally happened. She came to me. Her once proud posture was now slouched, her hands trembling as she approached my desk. "Please," she whispered, desperation thick in her voice. "I need your help." I leaned back, savoring the moment. What happened to all that confidence? Her lips trembled. "I messed up, okay? I didn't know," she swallowed hard. "I didn't know there was an encryption lock." I tilted my head. "And you thought I'd just hand over the key?" A tear slid down her cheek. "Please. If I don't fix this, I'll lose everything." I let the silence stretch between us, watching her squirm. Then, with a slow, deliberate smile, I whispered, "What happens next will shock everyone." Olivia's hands trembled as she gripped the edge of my desk, eyes filled with desperation. I let her squirm for a moment, enjoying the weight of her own choices crashing down on her. She had stolen from me, humiliated me, and thought she'd walk away unscathed. Now she was begging. "Please, just unlock it," she choked out, barely keeping her voice steady. "I swear, I'll fix this. I'll make things right." I leaned forward slowly, my voice calm, deliberate. "Make things right? You mean like giving me back the credit I deserve? Like confessing to Calloway and the board?" Her eyes darted away. "Coward. You don't get it," she whispered. "If they find out I didn't actually create the program, I'll lose everything." I scoffed. "That sounds like a you problem." Her face crumpled. I'm your sister, she pleaded. I narrowed my eyes.
No.
You're just the person who decided I wasn't good enough to shine on my own. And now you want my help? Silence. Then I stood, walking around the desk until I was right in front of her. All right, Olivia. I'll help you. Her breath hitched. You will. I smiled, slow, dangerous. But on my terms. Olivia nodded frantically.
Yes.
Whatever it takes. I tilted my head, pretending to consider. First you go to Callaway and the board. You tell them the truth, that you stole my work, that you lied. Then you resign. Quietly. No dramatic exits. Just disappear. Her mouth fell open. I know. I can't just. You can, I interrupted.
And you will.
If you want me to unlock the system, this is the price. Tears welled in her eyes.
You don't understand.
I'll have nothing left. A sharp laugh escaped me. You think I care? You left me with nothing when you stole my work. She swallowed hard, panic creeping into her features. Is there any other way? I leaned in slightly, lowering my voice. Olivia, I could watch you burn for this. But I'm giving you an out. Take it or lose everything. Her breath came in shaky gasps. I could see it. The war inside her. Then, finally, her shoulders sagged in defeat.
Fine.
I'll do it. I nodded, stepping back. Good choice. But I wasn't done yet. The next morning I waited. The company was buzzing, whispers flying between cubicles. Olivia had scheduled a private meeting with Callaway and the board. I sat calmly at my desk, sipping my coffee, enjoying every second. Then Olivia walked past, shoulders hunched, face pale. Her lips were pressed together as if holding back tears. I met her gaze, arching an eyebrow. She looked away. Coward. A few minutes later, my email pinged. Subject: Immediate resignation of Olivia Sterling. I let out a slow exhale, a satisfied smirk curling at my lips. One step down. But I wasn't finished yet. That evening, Olivia came to me again. I did what you asked. Her voice was barely above a whisper. I nodded, feigning indifference. Good. She hesitated. So, the code. I smiled.
Ah, yes.
The encryption lock. She clutched her hands together. Please, I need it. I leaned forward, my voice soft. You'll have it. But there's just one more thing. Her face paled. You said. I said I'd help you. I met her gaze, cold and unrelenting. I never said you wouldn't have to work for it. Olivia exhaled shakily. What do you want? I smiled wider. I want you to rebuild what you destroyed. I want you to work under me, not as my equal, but as my assistant. I want you to watch as I rise, while you fade into the background. She froze. You want me to? Yes, I cut her off smoothly. You will do the grunt work, the things you never respected before. You will learn what it feels like to earn something instead of stealing it. Tears filled her eyes, but I didn't waver. You want the code? This is the cost. She swallowed hard, then, after a long, painful silence, she whispered, Okay. The game was mine now. Watching Olivia struggle in her new position was a masterpiece in itself. Once adored, now ignored. Once respected, now a shadow. She filed reports, arranged meetings, tasks she had once deemed beneath her. But the real fun was watching her realize the depth of what she had done. One afternoon, she set a coffee cup on my desk, her fingers trembling slightly. I didn't even look up. Did you double-check the data reports for errors? I asked, typing away at my laptop. She nodded. Yes. Good. I finally met her gaze. Because if I find a mistake, you'll be fixing it on your own time. She flinched but said nothing. I smiled. Dismissed. She turned, shoulders hunched. And for the first time in years, I felt something close to peace. But I wasn't done yet. Not by a long shot. Olivia was breaking. I could see it in the way her hands trembled when she handed me reports, in the way she flinched whenever I addressed her in front of others. The once confident woman who had stolen from me was now nothing more than a shadow, reduced to a mere assistant in the very company where she once commanded attention. But the question lingered. Was she truly defeated, or was she waiting for her moment? I wasn't naive. Olivia was desperate, but desperation could make people dangerous. She had lost the war, but a cornered animal still had claws. And I needed to be sure she wouldn't use hers. I decided to push her,
To see how far she had really fallen.
Olivia, I need these reports formatted and sent to the board by the end of the day, I said one afternoon, barely looking up from my laptop. She took a shallow breath. I already sent them this morning. I glanced at her. Did you cross-check the data? She nodded quickly. Yes. I let the silence stretch between us, watching her shift nervously under my gaze. You're thorough, I admitted. Maybe you would have been good at this job if you hadn't stolen your way to the top first. She winced, her fingers tightening around the clipboard she held.
Still too proud to admit it out loud.
That was fine.
She didn't need to say it.
She was living the consequences. Days turned into weeks, and Olivia remained in my shadow. But one day, an unexpected visitor showed up, our mother. She stormed into my office, a mix of anger and frustration burning in her eyes. You've humiliated your sister enough, she snapped, slamming her handbag on my desk. I leaned back in my chair, unimpressed. You mean she humiliated herself when she stole my work and got caught? Your family, she hissed. I let out a cold laugh. Oh, now we're family? Where was that loyalty when Olivia stabbed me in the back? Mother pursed her lips. She made a mistake. She ruined my career, I corrected. And now she's earning back what she destroyed. Her face softened. She's suffering, sweetheart. Can't you just forgive her? I exhaled sharply. Maybe one day,
but not yet.
Not until she had paid her debt in full. I knew Olivia had hit rock bottom when I found her sitting alone in the break room, staring blankly at her untouched lunch. She looked hollow. I sat down across from her, waiting. Finally, she spoke, voice barely above a whisper. I hate this. I folded my arms. You should. You earned it. Her eyes flickered with something, regret, maybe. I didn't think it would end like this. I studied her for a moment. What did you think would happen, Olivia? That I'd just let you walk away after you destroyed my careers? She swallowed hard. I don't know. I was jealous. I wanted to be seen. I sighed, rubbing my temples. And how did that work out for you? She didn't answer. Because we both knew the truth. She was nothing now. That night, as I was leaving, Olivia caught up with me in the parking lot. Wait, she said breathlessly. I need to ask you something. I crossed my arms. What? She hesitated, then took a deep breath. Is there any way I can fix this? Not just serving under you, but actually making things right? I studied her carefully. Was she serious? Or was this another manipulation? I decided to test her. There's an upcoming project. If you truly want to prove yourself, you'll help me build it? Her lips parted in surprise. You'd let me? I shrugged. This isn't forgiveness, Olivia. This is you earning back your dignity, one step at a time. She nodded quickly. I'll do it. For the first time, I saw something genuine in her expression. Maybe redemption was possible. But she still had a long way to go. I wasn't stupid. Olivia had fooled me once before. So, as she worked alongside me in the following weeks, I watched her like a hawk. She was more careful now, more thoughtful with her work. But could I ever really trust her again? One afternoon, I left a minor security protocol out in the open, a subtle trap. If Olivia was still the same person, she'd take the bait. I waited, and then nothing. She didn't touch it. Maybe, just maybe, she was changing. The new project launched smoothly, and for the first time, Olivia was contributing the right way. But I had one final test. The board had asked me to present the project. Olivia had done a significant portion of the grunt work. So the night before, I handed her the final presentation. You're presenting, I told her. She paled. Me? Why? Because you need to own your work the right way this time, I said simply. Her hands trembled as she took the file. What if they don't trust me? I held her gaze. Then prove them wrong. The next day, Olivia stood in front of the board, hands shaking as she began her presentation.
She stumbled a few times.
But then something changed. She found her voice. By the end, there was silence. Then Mr. Calloway nodded. Impressive work. A slow, relieved breath escaped Olivia. Maybe, just maybe, she was earning redemption. Just when I thought Olivia was finally learning, the rug was pulled out from under both of us. It started with a simple email. Subject: Urgent meeting. Intellectual property violation. I frowned as I read it. Intellectual property violation? That didn't make sense. The new project was fully under my leadership and Olivia had been working under my supervision. When I entered the conference room, I saw Mr. Calloway's grim expression. Olivia sat across from him, her face pale. What's this about? I asked, taking my seat. Calloway cleared his throat. There's been an anonymous report claiming that this new project's core functionality was stolen from a previous, unreleased prototype. My blood ran cold. I turned to Olivia. She looked as stunned as I was.
This is insane, I said.
Who's making these accusations? Calloway slid a folder across the table. I opened it, and my stomach dropped. Inside were old blueprints from an abandoned project we had worked on years ago. A project that Olivia and I had both contributed to, but one that had never been patented or publicly disclosed. Someone was trying to frame us. I spent the entire night combing through every detail, trying to figure out who had reported us. It wasn't Olivia.
Not this time.
She was too deep into fixing her own mistakes to sabotage herself now. So who else stood to gain from this? Then it hit me. The only person who knew about that abandoned project was Calloway. A sinking realization washed over me.
He had orchestrated this.
He had been using me, using both of us, to refine an old idea, one he had no way of developing himself. And the moment it was ready, he had framed us for stealing it. This wasn't about Olivia anymore. This was about taking down the person who had played us both. I needed proof. I wasn't about to walk into Calloway's office with accusations and no leverage. So I did what Olivia had done to me. I set a trap. I sent an email from an untraceable address, posing as an external consultant interested in the stolen project. If Calloway was really behind this, he wouldn't be able to resist an opportunity to profit. 2 days later, he took the bait. A reply came through. Let's discuss terms. Name your price. Gotcha. When I showed Olivia the email, she froze. You mean to tell me that after everything, I wasn't the real villain? Her voice wavered between disbelief and anger. I exhaled. You made mistakes, Olivia. But Calloway? He played both of us from the start. For the first time, she looked me in the eye without fear or resentment. What do we do now? I hesitated. We take him down. Olivia's lips parted slightly, then, slowly, she nodded. And just like that, for the first time in years, we were truly on the same side. The next day, we walked into Calloway's office, my phone recording everything. Let's cut the act, I said, tossing the printed email onto his desk. We know what you did. His expression remained unreadable. I don't know what you're talking about. Olivia stepped forward. You used us. You stole an idea and then framed us, so we'd take the fall while you profited. Calloway leaned back in his chair, a slow smirk forming. And who's going to believe you? I smiled. The board. The investors. The police. His smirk faltered. I placed my phone on the table and hit play. His voice filled the room. The proof of his betrayal. His face paled. You've lost, I said. And for the first time, Calloway had no words. The fallout was immediate. Calloway was forced to resign, his career in shambles. The board conducted an internal review, clearing my name and, surprisingly, Olivia's as well. She had started this journey as my enemy. But in the end, she had helped me finish it as something else. Not a friend. Not yet. But maybe someday. A week later, Olivia knocked on my office door. I gestured for her to sit. So, I said, what now? She let out a slow breath. I don't know. I don't deserve a second chance here. But I want to try to be better. I studied her. She meant it. Finally, I nodded. Then prove it. A hesitant smile crossed her lips. I will. And for the first time in a long time, I believed her. Olivia chose to leave the company. Not in disgrace, but on her own terms. I need a fresh start, she said. Somewhere where I can build something for myself. The right way. I nodded. You'll figure it out. For the first time, she smiled at me, a real, genuine smile.
I hope so, she said.
And thank you for giving me the chance to fix things. Maybe we'd never be what we were before, but at least we weren't enemies anymore. Even after Calloway's downfall, the weight of everything that had happened still hung over me. Olivia's betrayal, the months of watching her struggle under my control, the moment she had finally stepped up and helped take down the true enemy, it all played in my mind like a film on repeat. She had chosen to leave the company. She could have fought for redemption here, but she didn't. Instead, she had chosen to walk away, knowing that some scars take longer to heal. And me? I had won. But why didn't it feel as satisfying as I had imagined? I sat at my desk late that night, staring at the empty chair Olivia had once occupied. It was strange how silence could be both comforting and suffocating at the same time. I had spent so long fighting to prove myself, to make her pay. But now, with the war over, I wasn't sure what came next. A few weeks passed. Work moved forward, and without Calloway breathing down my neck, I found myself stepping into the leadership role that had always been mine. For the first time in my career, I wasn't in anyone's shadow. One afternoon, as I prepared for a high-stakes investor meeting, my assistant knocked on my door. There's someone here to see you, she said hesitantly. I frowned.
Who?
She shifted uncomfortably. Your sister. A beat of silence passed between us. I hadn't spoken to Olivia since the day she left. I took a slow breath, then nodded. Send her in. Olivia stepped inside, looking different. The desperate woman who had once pleaded for my help was gone. Instead, the person standing before me seemed lighter, freer. She offered a small, hesitant smile.
Hey.
I leaned back in my chair, studying her. Didn't think I'd see you again. She exhaled softly. I wasn't sure if I should come. I folded my arms. Why are you here? I wanted to say thank you. Her voice was quiet but firm. For giving me a second chance. I know I didn't deserve it, but I'm trying to be better. I searched her face, looking for deception, but for the first time in a long time, I didn't see any. Just honesty. She hesitated, then reached into her bag and slid something across my desk. A business card. I raised an eyebrow. What's this? My new startup. She gave a small, almost self-conscious shrug. It's not much yet, but I'm building something of my own. The right way this time. I picked up the card, running my fingers over the embossed letters. For so long, I had imagined our story ending with me crushing Olivia under my heel. But now, looking at her stronger, humbler, trying to forge her own path, I realized that maybe, just maybe, this was the ending we both needed. I placed the card down and met her gaze. Good luck, Olivia. A soft smile curved her lips. You too? Then, she turned and walked away. And for the first time in years, I let her go without anger. The weeks that followed were different. I wasn't just fighting for recognition anymore. I had it. I had earned it. The scars Olivia left behind would never fully fade, but they no longer controlled me. And her? She had taken the hard road to redemption, and while I wasn't ready to completely forgive, I could respect that.